Okay, so hello everyone. In this video I want to show a use case that I faced recently. So it was for using certification on element at T connection, and the user wanted specifically to get this length here, and in that case this was the M1 and 4 distance. And this is something we cannot directly grab from the data inside HyperMesh in the method. So if you go to method and create any method, let me pick any hand method. Let me pick this one, and let me pick unique value. Do not care about the method, but it's for showing you the attributes that we can carry into the finite elements model information. We have some information in the dimensions, such as the element length, the element area, the element volume. We have some information about coordinates, but it's in a list and we cannot extract them as easily. So what I did was to say, because here as parameters of a given method, you can give either model attributes, result attributes, metadata, or you can pass the result of another method. So what I did was to create a simple method in Python, which is the distance, compute the distance between x, y, z of node 1 and node 4, and to return the distance. So now that it is done, how to proceed into certification. Step 1, load your resource in HyperMesh. So load your Python script with this plus for adding a new resource. Step 2, go to the edit library. You add a new method, so let's call it distance. It will be method number 3. Instead of Python 1, it's Python 3, and 1 and 4. And this requires the 6 parameters. Now, these 6 parameters, we cannot get access to them directly from the GUI. So how to get access to them? First, let me bring in these 6 parameters dummy values, dummy parameters. It has nothing to do with what I want to check, but yeah, it's just for the sake of exporting with some values. And please think about adding at least one output. So here it is distance, and you can save your method and create it. Now just let's go to run method, select at least one element, select your method, distance, okay, and hit and run. So the method runs successfully. What do I do with this? In fact, what occurs behind the scene when you run the method? If you go to my documents, you have a file which is called stress tool method registration.xml, which is populated. So, and if you look at it, you see that you have your parameter that you retrieve. So n1x was defined with element length, n4x was defined with element area, n1y was defined with element volume, and etc., etc. And if you go into the attributes section, you see that the element length here is defined with hmdb.element. So this is something which is an inner code, let's say, or hmdb is a code for querying HyperMesh database, so querying for the element, and into the element querying one given attribute, what we call data name inside HyperMesh of elements. If I come back now to HyperMesh, use the F1 in order to go to the online help, I can look for data name, for instance. So if you go to data names, let me pick the second one and see that the correct one to show to you. So there are multiple ways you can retrieve the data names for one given entity. One is in online help, another one is the matrix browser. So if I hit Control F and matrix, Here, for instance, I can go to HM data, I can look for elements, I can query any elements, so let me pick this one. And in these elements, as soon as the cell is green, that means that I can query for attributes, and they appear here as data names. So here, for instance, I'm interested into N1 and N4. So I can query again, and you see that N1 and N4 are still green, which means that I can interrogate them again. So for instance, for node4, I can ask for node4.x, I can ask for node4.y and z. I could have done it at the beginning, and same for node1. Now, how do you set it in this location? In fact, so HMDB you want to query dot element, so this is the first column here. And then if you want node4 or node1.x, you have just to set node1 column and dot x. And you can repeat it for node4.x, node1.y, etc., etc., which at the end allows you to get a new XML file, which I saved as N1 and X. And here you see that I just, so if I set it to side by side, into the opposite view. Okay, let me try to have the same look, same size, something like this. Okay, I have the same parameters. Oh, yeah, I have the same parameters, but I renamed them with the correct values. I have the parameter name distance, and I'm just changing, in fact, how to call the attribute. But a part of this is the same XML file. Now that I have saved my XML file, I can finally go back to HyperMesh into the certification. And what I just have to do is to go to the edit library, and on top add the plus in order to, into console. Did I do wrong here? I need to open, import a library and go and load for the N1 and 4.xml. And now I have my new library with N1 and 4 distance, which is what I saved in my N1 and 4. You should see N1 and 4 distance. This is the display name that I used here. And you retrieve it, and you can use it with the proper document and the proper parameters, and you have nothing more else to be defined than HyperMesh will query the database anytime it is needed. So hope this can help for your certification computations, for defining your methods. See you later for another video. Goodbye.